Welcome to the verdict zone. If you're here for a rant, you're in the wrong aisle. If you're here for the facts as we see them, keep watching. Today, we're dissecting a family civil war, a conflict ignited by one single, explosive question: who owns an idea? Is it the thinker who dreams it up, or the doer who brings it to life? Let's meet the players. On one side, we have David, the father. He's described by his own son as brilliant, a true visionary, but perpetually stuck in neutral. He's the quiet, introspective type, a man whose mind is a goldmine of incredible ideas that rarely see the light of day. One evening, over a casual family dinner, David shares his latest breakthrough. It's not just a good idea, it's a groundbreaking business concept, a potential game changer. Across the table sits his son, Malik. As David speaks, Malik's mind isn't just listening, it's racing. He sees the potential, the strategy, the market, the money. He sees a diamond in the rough. But he also sees the rough, his father's long history of unrealized potential, of brilliant sparks that fizzle out before they can ever catch fire. In Malik's mind, this incredible idea is a seed that his father will never plant. It will simply join the collection of other great ideas left to wither in a notebook somewhere. So, he made a decision. He took that seed, planted it in his own garden, and is now harvesting the fruit. This is where the story takes its brutal pivot. Malik didn't go to his father the next day to propose a partnership. He didn't ask for permission to develop the concept. He didn't even offer to help. Instead, he executed what can only be described as a hostile takeover of his father's brainchild. He moved swiftly and silently. He consulted lawyers, secured the intellectual property rights in his own name, and launched the business. The first major sale came through, a validation of the idea's brilliance. And how did David find out? Not through a proud announcement from his son, but through the devastating silence of seeing his own creation flourish in someone else's hands. The family's reaction was immediate and deeply divided. The mother and grandfather applauded Malik's initiative. They saw a young man taking charge, making things happen, achieving success. Results, to them, mattered more than sentiment. Malik's sister, however, was horrified. She saw a dreamer betrayed, a father's spirit crushed by his own son. Malik's move to file for the intellectual property wasn't just a legal formality, it was a declaration of war. It was him saying, "Your ideas belong to me now." He had weaponized his father's greatest flaw, his inaction, and used it as the justification for theft. This isn't just a business dispute anymore, it's a referendum on the family's core values. What do they prize more, decisive action or fundamental integrity? Is the end result all that matters, or does the method of getting there count for something? The inevitable confrontation was explosive. Imagine the scene: a father, his voice cracking with a mix of rage and heartbreak, tearfully accusing his son of the ultimate betrayal. And Malik, standing firm, his response a cold, justifying mantra he's clearly been rehearsing in his head: "You're a man of ideas, Dad. I'm a man of action." As if that distinction somehow makes the theft acceptable. To add insult to injury, Malik then makes an offer. He proposes to give his father a 20% share of the profits. This wasn't an act of generosity. This was a king offering crumbs to the rightful owner of the entire kingdom. It translates to: "Here's a consolation prize for the idea I monetized without you." It's not a partnership, it's a settlement offer, a calculated move to ease his own conscience, to buy his way out of guilt. David's rejection was immediate and absolute. It was a matter of principle. You can't put a price tag on trust. You can't buy back a relationship you've intentionally broken. Look at this from their two perspectives. On a split screen, you have Malik's view: he's pragmatic, efficient. He sees an inert concept that would have gone nowhere. He applied his energy, his resources, his drive, and turned a fantasy into a tangible, profitable reality. In his world, that's what matters. Then you have David's view: this was personal, it was creative, it was a piece of his soul. His intellectual legacy wasn't just commercialized, it was stolen and usurped by the person he should have been able to trust the most, his own son. Malik sees a business transaction. David sees a profound, personal violation. So, who's right? So, what's the verdict? Legally, by securing the IP first, Malik may have the upper hand. Ethically, it's a different story. His actions are a masterclass in ruthless execution and a catastrophic failure of morality. But here's a moral judgment to think about for later: does execution without consent automatically transform an idea into stolen property? Where is the line? At what point does capitalizing on a loved one's perceived weakness become exploitation, not initiative? We are not angry at the system, we're disappointed in the excuses. The excuse that action is inherently more valuable than ideation. The excuse that being family makes you a free-for-all incubator for ideas you can poach at will. This story isn't a motivational tale about a go-getter. This is an autopsy of a son who valued success over his father's soul. Think about it. He didn't just steal a business plan, he stole his father's chance. The one chance to finally prove everyone, and maybe even himself, wrong. He stole his father's chance to finally be the man of action. This idea heist shattered a family. It forces us to ask ourselves some difficult questions. Where do you stand? Was Malik a savvy entrepreneur who did what was necessary, or a dishonorable son who committed the ultimate betrayal? Debate it in the comments below. And if you're ready to dissect more stories where ambition and morality violently divorce, stick around. Your verdict will judge the true cost of a six-figure idea. Subscribe. We're here to audit the ethics of success.